Welcome everybody to Lucidity and beyond, where we dive into the world of lucid dreaming, out-of-body experiences, and beyond. I am your host, Haley, also known as the Lucid Mystic on YouTube, and I am beyond excited to share this space with you. I have been waiting to start this podcast, and I am so grateful that it has finally come to fruition. And what better time to start this podcast than the first month of the new year? So happy New Year, everybody. And before we get into this intro video just about what this space is going to look like and what you'll get from this space, I just wanted to introduce myself just in case there's anybody new to me, this work, or this community. So again, my name is Haley. I go by the Lucid Mystic on all of my social media, and most of my work is done on YouTube. So really in my work, I focus on dream work, lucid dreaming, out-of-body experiences, and altered states of consciousness. And we're going to really dive deep into this over this podcast and as we kind of get more into this podcast. So I'm really excited to share some interesting things with you about altered states of consciousness. But that's really the foundation of my work. And I also branch out into personal development, business development, and then lots of fun things like breath work and other spiritual practices that you can use to elevate your experience. So that's a little bit about me. Aside from just doing YouTube stuff, I also do one-on-one mentorships, classes, and masterminds around anything dreamwork related and beyond. So into personal development, and a lot of work that revolves around creativity and the inner self. You'll notice that's definitely where the most potential is when we're doing this work, is when we go beyond just the fun experiences we can have with lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences and really getting into exploring the inner self. That's really what I love to focus on in my work and in my personal practices. So I'm really excited to dive into that deeper with you guys in this space. So what we're going to even discuss in this podcast, of course, we will branch out into several topics. But to start, just to give you a basis of what this space is going to feel like and give to you, is it's really going to be focused on dream work, lucid dreaming, and out-of-body experiences. But of course, we will definitely touch on some self-coaching practices. I think it's really important to manage our mind, our thoughts, our feelings, and be able to create helpful habits that actually propel us to where we want to go. So we're going to be touching on all of that. So a lot of exploration within spirituality and our personal practices. And then of course, breath work, productivity hacks, and more. So this really is just going to be a space to grow, to learn, and to evolve in all aspects of that, in all parts of yourself. So as a listener, now let's talk about what this is going to look like for you. So of course, as a listener, you're going to be able to enjoy this podcast either on YouTube, where you can actually see what's happening. If you are watching this on YouTube right now, you can see that I am in my room. I am sitting on my bed, and this is where the podcast is going to be. I really wanted to make it feel really personal, really fun, and I wanted it to feel like a little sleepover between you and I, really touching on what we dream about, what we think about, even when we're laying under the stars. Think about the types of thoughts you have while you're laying under the stars. I really want this space to provide something similar to you, and I thought no better place than to film this in my dream temple, which is what I call my bedroom. We're going to be getting into a lot of those things later in this podcast, which I'm very excited about. So of course you can watch this on YouTube, or you'll be able to watch this on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. On top of being able to tune in to this podcast, you will also be able to submit questions and also share experiences that you would like me to talk about and discuss on the podcast. And then again, if you have any questions as well, whether it's about my personal life, whether it's about your life, or specific practices or techniques or whatever it is, you'll be able to submit those as well. I have a form for you guys where you can do this, and I will make sure to pin it in the description, and it is also in my link tree. So you guys will be able to ask any questions there, share any experiences you would like to share, whether it's dreaming or not. Maybe it's just a really cool, interesting, synchronistic experience that you had that you'd like to share. Whatever it is, you can share that with me for the podcast, and we can really dive into some of your guys' deepest questions or experiences that you would like some feedback on. So this will be a really cool place to really connect with you guys on a deeper level. So I'm very, very excited for that. And we'll just see where this goes. This is really going to be just a really fun adventure with you guys. And so we'll just allow this podcast to kind of grow and to change as we feel it out, you know? So we're just gonna start and see where it takes us. As far as the second episode, I think what we're going to do is just dive into how dreaming has impacted my life and how lucid dreaming has changed my life. Because I think my first experiences with dreaming is something that's not what you would expect. And my experiences with how dreaming and lucid dreaming has changed my life really pushes the boundaries of what we believe is possible within dreaming. So I'm definitely going to talk about that in the next episode to solidify your whys. Like, why do you want to lucid dream now that you know these different things are possible? I really want to inspire you and motivate you to make all of your wildest dreams come true through dream practices and within waking life. And I think that the story of how lucid dreaming changed my life really is something that will be interesting to think on, because it's as close to magic as we can get. That's really what I believe about dreaming and experiencing consciousness in all of the different ways we can. I mean, that's magic, you know, and even how we can influence this reality just with our mind and our thoughts and our feelings, that is magic. And so I'm excited to share my journey with you, my experience with how this practice has really impacted me and allowed me to do what I do now. It all stemmed from one dream. So I'm really, really stoked to dive into that. I can't wait to see where this podcast takes us. I really want this to be a dream space that you can come to anytime, where you feel safe, you feel inspired, you feel motivated, and you feel supported. That is my role within this new journey with you, and I can't wait to see where this rabbit hole takes us. So that is going to wrap it up for this episode, guys. I love you so much, and I cannot wait to chat with you again in the next episode. So without further ado, to lucidity and beyond.